to quarterfinal, men's over 87 kilograms, court number 1, match 106. In blue armor from the Philippines, Uy Christopher Robert.
We now move on to our next match. This is in the over 87 kilogram category. The Philippines with Christopher Robert Uy.
In red armor from Cambodia, Van Riti.
Wearing the red armor from Cambodia, Riti Van. Looks like we're going to have an interesting matchup here. The Philippines up against Cambodia.
Court number 2.
This is the heavyweight category.
Okay.
In blue armor from Cambodia, Chung Eliza.
Again, I don't know the Cambodian player, Anthony, but on the left we are looking at Chris Uy. If, just like in basketball in the Philippines, we have our Philams. And Chris is from the state of Southern California, who studied at De La Salle University as early as 5 years ago. He's graduated already. He got married already, ahead of his teammate Arvin. He's a very good kid with a head on his shoulders, and a fighter who I've seen evolve into what he is right now. Really a thinking fighter who uses his length, who uses his strength. He's extremely strong, extremely powerful. In another sport, he would have been a basketball player, but he elected to. He has an uncle, the legendary Greg Uy of the 1980s, a teammate of Monsieur de Rosario De La Salle in the early 80s. This is his nephew, Chris, and he's had ups and downs in his career. A lot of wins, but he's also had some heartbreaks. But this is a major chance of his to get another gold for his trophy case. And let's see how he fares with the Cambodian. He's taller, and we don't know the style of the Cambodian yet. But Chris is a power fighter. I've seen him lift other opponents off the ground just with the sheer power of his 45 kick. But of course, this guy is a pussycat actually. But here, he has a blank face, and he fights, he plays, and uses his length. And there you go. He's also very partial to the old school back leg 45 because he knows he can actually, well, for better phrase, hurt people with it. Okay, he better watch out. The Cambodian has a head kick which he can throw. Who apparently throws it over a 45 as a counter.
Still no score here.
Okay, Cambodia scored with a
Cambodia
2.
will get on the board
that's
though.
a roundhouse or a 45.
This is the quarterfinal between Uy from the Philippines up against Van from Cambodia.
Okay. Scores with a punch. Now Uy is trying to lure him in. Uy, for a big guy, Chris, has a good footwork, and he's trying to lure the Cambodian fighter in and then counter. There you go. They're still actually strategically checking each other out. That's another thing with Chris. He's a slow boil fighter. He's a slow starter.
Not too much scoring here.
Nope, not yet. They're studying each other. The Cambodian fighter looks like he's doing it as well. I dare say, although I must verify this out, the way they're fighting, I think they already know each other. I think these two guys have fought each other in the past Southeast Asian games. There's that sort of respect or something. I could see. Then again, it's the first round. Oops. See? So each knows that to have the other pay in for a counter for a technique which is thrown, lackadaisically. There you go. Cambodia is up by 2-1. Interesting fight. See, Chris feints with a punch, throws with a 45. Oh, see, the Cambodian player has the ability to actually throw a kick over a 45, and that's very dangerous. Coach Kaloy giving Chris instructions. And knowing Coach Kaloy, the instructions would be very strategic, basically to use angles, use feints, and then try to not overpower the opponent but outthink him. That's basically Coach Kaloy's style. And knowing Coach Chris's style as well, they mesh very well together.
Round number 2 coming up. Philippines trails here, but not by much. We expected a lot of scoring here, but
I
these two
really
have had tremendous respect for one another.
Yes, I really believe these two know each other very well because nobody's following up too much on the kicks. They're just really. Oh God! He nails him with a front leg roundhouse. That hurt. I have to admit, in an electronic scoring game, that hurt.
It is now 8-2. Very quickly, the Philippines with a 6-point advantage.
I think this was what Coach Kaloy was telling Chris, to look for the angles and get him as he moves in. But that's an amazing front leg roundhouse because Chris has long legs. That could have easily overshot the mark, but it actually just, it was pinpoint. Okay, slide. He'll get a dumb jump for that. Okay.
A minute gone here in the second. It is 8-3 still for the Philippines.
Okay. The Indonesian strategy now is to try to cramp Chris' style. He's moving in. He knows it's a dangerous game because you see, Chris can actually nail him with a high head kick like that, even at close quarters, which is very, very difficult for a tall guy.
And so the lead has been increased to 8.
But what can the Indonesian do? He cannot fight Chris from long range. That's a suicide. He'll be kicked to pieces from that range. So he's going in and risk really a counter from Chris. But the Cambodian feels that he has nothing to lose. He has to do this because the points are piling up. He has to try something.
It's now a 10-point disadvantage for Cambodia.
So he's trying to move faster, moving in. No, that won't work with Chris. They're at the clinch.
5 seconds remain.
If I were the Cambodian, really, to move in, he has to be kicking. What he's doing, Anthony, is he's feinting inside. And this is, I've seen it in boxing. Boxers, you go inside, feint, but to do that, you have to be punching while you're moving in. Here, you should be kicking or punching, moving in, because Chris is has an excellent counter 45 and roundhouse. You can get clipped as you move in with if you're not throwing techniques. You see, he got him there. God, that looked like Ronda Rousey, and she got clipped while his back was turned. Who's the girl who defeated Ronda Rousey?
Holly Holm.
No. Ah, yes, the Holly Holm. As Ronda Rousey's back was turned, she got. The lesson in martial arts is the same everywhere. Do not turn your back.
That's going to be the first words of advice. You see
yeah.
Monsieur Del Rosario back there.
Oh yeah, Monsieur. So, went there. That's illegal, sir. You are giving advice. Just one coach.
Well, he is a technical official, so He apparently was not talking to any of the fighters anyhow. He was just making his presence felt.
The Cambodian is being more aggressive. He has to throw caution to the wind here now, the third round.
But the lead continues to increase for the Philippines.
That was just a 45 again, a roundhouse to the midsection. I will tell you, Anthony, I mean, I haven't been on the receiving end of a 45 from Chris, but I've seen him up close and I've seen him work the pads. Even if you were to block a 45 by Chris, it'll really break your arms, break your forearms. They're that powerful. Which is why he's in the heavyweight categories. Okay,
30 seconds gone here in the third.
The Cambodian fighter is having a hard time. See, he's throwing caution to the wind now. That was a sort of a desperate punch. There, he's trying to get in, but Chris won't have any of it. He's just okay, and he did a punch of his own. Chris is just basically doing a cutting side kick, so he doesn't go in.
The lead has now been increased to 13. A little over a minute remaining in the third and final round.
Okay, I see Coach Kaloy. Oh, God. Coach Kaloy signaled Chris to throw a roundhouse, and he did just that and almost nailed the Cambodian.
That one didn't miss by much.
No. Again, that looked like a haircut. A haircut kick. Ooh. That wasn't that one and roundhouse. Oh, with a bad intentions. I mean, he threw it from a back leg position. Had that connected, that would have been lights out. The Cambodian fighter is frustrated here. So.
But he can still make up this deficit, but he's, well, it's becoming bigger and bigger. It's now at 15.
And I think he's tired as well. He's already drooping there, and Chris is just forcing along for the next fight.
19 seconds remaining. The Philippines will move on to the semifinals of the heavyweight division.
Okay, I think the Cambodian players run out of gas as well, trying to chase the lead. Chasing Chris's lead. And Mr. A has got himself a victory en route to the next rounds of the Southeast Asian Games Taekwondo Championship.
Match 106, winner, the Philippines.
And he's, see, that's Chris. He rarely shows emotion. See, that 45 that misses, he converts it into a side kick, which can actually score. Oh, that's a heavy 45. So even if you were to block a 45 like it really hurts your forearms, believe me.
And the Philippines wins this match, and they move on to the semifinals.
It's his teammate Butch Harrison.